it's important to understand your weaknesses. That's really important. But it's really important to give yourself a pat on the back every now and then, and give yourself an uppercut around your weaknesses, but give yourself a pat on the back every now and then.
Yeah, I definitely believe in that, Mark. I definitely believe in that, and being kind to yourself and cutting yourself a little bit of slack, because we tend to be tough on ourselves. We tend to be, our own worst critic, and we pull ourselves down more than, others. And I've even said to many of my moms, how would you feel if you knew that your 7-year-old daughter internally was saying, you're useless, fat cow, like you don't deserve it. Like of course, you're never going to blah, 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 blah. How would you feel if she was saying that to herself? So why are you? And I guess sometimes we have to look at someone else or put an example like that in front of people to bring it back, because we never think of it. We would never want that for someone else. We would definitely never want that for our own child.
Did any of your friends say that to you when you were losing your confidence and you were reaching out? Did anyone say, listen, stop carrying on. You're good. You're great. Got to get back on the wagon?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. In fact, I've got 3 really, really people that will just say, give it to me like that. 2 are married, and one is another friend. And they'll 3 of them know each other and know me, and all 3 of them would say exactly the same. One's a bit softer. The other 2 are tougher.
And I presume you say the same back to them.
Of course. Yeah. And it's all with love, because they want to see the best for me, and I want to see the best for them. And this is probably going off topic completely, but, the 2 that I'm talking about that are married, I had a very straight conversation with them. And this was during COVID, the first time, because my son, Axel, they're like his auntie and uncle, right? That's how close we are. And they said, we've noticed, we want to talk to you about Axel. I said, okay. And I knew that he was mucking up. He was just going through this time when he was 4. He just started really lashing out and speaking badly to me and whatever, fine, and all of this, right? and then he started saying it to them. And then they heard their daughter saying it back to them. She's copying, because they're friends. These 2 are like that. And they said, we want to talk. We want to have a straight conversation with you about Axel, because we don't like the way he speaks to you. We definitely don't like the way he has spoken to us. And we don't like the fact now that Charlotte is saying some of the stuff that he's saying. And this, for me, like, I think of this as a parent, like you go, it's hard.
Yeah. Shoulders forward, exactly.
Yeah, and I said, okay, yep, I get it, because I hear it too. And they said, you know what, Mish, we love you, we love Axel, and you're going to be in our life forever. So we need to work this out. We need to figure out a solution, because, we'll be really honest, they're very honest with me, clearly. If you were someone that we didn't know, you were like a friend at school, a parent, we'd cut it. But you're not. You're basically family. So we got to figure this out. I mean, how cool and raw and open and honest and transparent is that conversation? Because I could have gone, you know what, screw you, he's my son, blah, 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 blah. And it would have just gone, and it didn't.
And you wouldn't be probably sitting where you are now. I mean, you wouldn't have got through to that TV show. You probably... Lots of things wouldn't have happened for you. And you would have isolated.
That's how tight we are, that we were able to unpack our shit and open up ourselves and hold ourselves respectfully in a very awkward and uncomfortable conversation. And that takes guts, because it's so easy for your ego to go, well, fuck you. He's that. That could have turned into a massive fight. Could you imagine that conversation with parents and their kids?
Yeah, I can imagine. It's funny, like, again, I can see correlation between that point you were just making and the story you just gave me to people who are currently in the business environment, I've been saying for a while, look, it's one thing, we're all shitty about what's going on, the government lockdowns, all sorts of stuff. I get it. I 100% get it. We're all shitty. And we all try to find someone to blame. We all try to be reactive. At the end of the day, we've got to solve this shit ourselves. We can't sit around and rely on anybody else to do it for us. And we have to be accountable and we have to accept what's going on and then rearrange our lives and play to our strengths and know what our weaknesses are, but play to our strengths to actually try and recover from what's going on. And I think therein lies a very good lesson for everybody, all of us business owners who are sort of watching this show right now, but also thinking about how unfair things are. Because, we can always try and blame. First and foremost, we start blaming others. Then we start to think, oh no, it's really unfair. This is, it's real unfair on me. I don't like this. Then we go in a bit of a depression. We sort of drop into a bit of a black hole. Then someone lucky enough like you, we have other people then sometimes who will drag us out of it. And even if someone doesn't drag us out of it, we've got to do it ourselves. We must. Otherwise, you're fucked.
No one's coming in to save the day.
No, there's no white knight flying in the joint. Oh, I get people say, oh, Mark, can you run for Prime Minister? Are you serious? I'm not going to I can't run for Prime Minister. I mean, I don't want to run for Prime Minister. But I'm not going to, even if I was, I can't fucking solve the problem. Don't be silly. I just can't do that. It doesn't make sense. But people do look for this type of situation. And I think you have to sit back and assess yourself. Whether it's with somebody else, it's much better and easier to do if someone else helps you and you've got someone to talk it through. And reach out. Be vulnerable. Accept your vulnerability. And because if you don't, you will never resolve the problem.